addiction affects an individual as well as every member of the family, because we as a professionals believe that a person in the family, if he is into addiction, it does not only affect the person, at the same time it affects all the family members who are being with the person. And we also believe that when this change is happening, it definitely affects the family's emotional climate, identity of the family itself, as well as the roles and responsibilities in the family, and relationship also starts getting diluted. In our tradition and culture, we believe that families also do prefer to be meaningfully involved in all the aspects of care. At the same time, because of our cultural factors also, and we as clinicians feel that family is a very important partner when we can cater towards the addiction treatment and process for any of our clients who come out and reach out to us. So families adequate support is very much essential when we talk about recovery in addiction. First thing is guilt. So here what happens is that wife probably might self-blame herself, saying that, am I responsible for this addiction? Does he deserve a better partner like me? So this is the thought that keeps on going, which we call it as guilt feeling, which comes within the caregiver. Then comes the grief. Due to loss of prestige or dignity or family status, or loss of loving and understanding partner or spouse, or loss of security, or loss of friends, or loss of finances, that happens in day-to-day routine, that can induce a grief to any one of us. Third aspect can be anger, emotional aspects, where we see that family not being able to handle the problems anymore, where they feel that everyone is laughing at us. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? You saying that to your loved one, I wish if you were dead. So these are the extreme things when family has given up on the person. So next comes the hurt, like deep emotional pain and frustration, which often leads to unnecessary arguments and anger exchanges, which can lead to high noise levels in the family also. It's like many of our families say that we end up talking something, but we end up fighting or argument. So shame also is one of the factor due to your loved one's embarrassing behavior, which cause low self-worth in all of our family members. So when we talk about behavioral responses, we believe that behavioral responses are always destructive and aggravate the person with his addiction. Like, if a person I am want to leave my addiction, but if these behavioral responses are in a harmful way, I can also believe that, okay, if I am doing all this, still family do not believe, let me go back to my addiction, at least I am happy then. So these are the various responses which I have put under the emotional patterns. So family denial, basically what happens here, family denies the existence of any problem and gives excuses about substance abuse, like thinking that it's just he's going through just a bad stage, or maybe he has too much of pressure, he will stop when things are better in his life. Thinking in that way, we actually deny the problem of a person with addiction. Then the family also can be a protector, like they might feel that, okay, as a wife, I might try to show my love and affection and concern towards the loved one in the way that we try to cover up our spouse or son's addiction. So when we talk about treatment of addiction, it is very important that if my loved one does not relapse, so family's role is very important in treatment and aftercare, which will aid recovery or precipitate the relapse. Okay, and realize that substance dependence is a disease, and it's not a normal weakness or lack of willpower. We see it as a disease model where the person is totally affected with that. Okay, and do not expect a sudden change in the individual, and we need to understand that he has developed this dependency towards his alcohol or cannabis or smoking over a period of time, which cannot change suddenly, right? When he has done practiced it for so many years, it will not change in 1 month, 2 months. He might need hand holding support, which cannot definitely change overnight or in 1 month's time. Pay extra attention to his physical needs, prepare food according to his likes and dislikes, inquire about his medications, health, and make sure he's comfortable at home, talking to us as a family members, and he feels more that he is being wanted in the family. And do not discuss about his past previous addiction problems with others, because that might really affect his self-esteem and confidence. So accept the recovered person as a normal individual. In the negative mood states, when we talk about, it is very important to understand as a family member, because when a person is coming out of the addiction, so there might be chances that persons can get into negative mood states with two reasons. One is direct depressing effects of alcohol or substances which they have, and loss of problems of experiences in their life. Like suppose if I'm putting my addiction, as a result of it, I might if I'm into addiction, and as a result, I might lose financial stability, or I might lose my job, or it can lead to marriage, divorce, and instability in the family. So those are also the factors when a person come out sober from the de-addiction center and be with all of you, might feel that there is loss in his life. So that is also one of the factor for the negative mood states when the person is recovering. Negative mood states are powerful relapse precipitants, and returning to addiction is not an effective way of coping with depression and negative emotions, as the addiction only serves to worsen such emotions in a longer run. And there might be different ways to cope up with the person's negative mood states, as we have already discussed and we'll be discussing further. So negative mood states can be dealt effectively by changing the ways one can think and behave.